Rico Bush has been following the latest developments all morning out of California. And Rico, what have you learned so far?
Well, Anita, authorities say they are working to determine a motive for the violence, but sources close to the investigation say terrorism and workplace violence have not been ruled out yet. Now, overnight police identified both attackers as 28-year-old Saeed Farouk. That's who you see right here. And we are working to get a picture of 27-year-old Tashfeen Malik, who relatives say is the wife of Farouk. Now, family members say the two were married and they had a child together. Officers say Farouk was a San Bernardino County employee and attended the holiday party. He abruptly left the event at the Inland Regional Center before the shootings. Now, police say he and Malik came back a short time later with handguns, assault rifles, and in assault-style clothing and opened fire, killing 14 people and critically wounding another 10 victims. Now, authorities hunted for the suspects nearly for 5 hours and killed them in a shootout in a black SUV. They drove away from the shooting scene. Police sent robots to the suspect's home to search for explosive devices. Officers say they already found some inside the resource center during a secondary sweep, but deemed it was safe. Now, the executive director of the Council on American Islamic Relations condemned the shootings and says the Muslim community stands in mourning with the victims.
We stand in solidarity in repudiating any possible ideology or mindset that could have led to such horrific act. There is absolutely nothing that could justify. We stand in mourning, in sadness for what happened, and we pray for the quick recovery of those who were injured.
Now, sources say the ATF traced 4 firearms used in the shooting, and we just learned all 4 of those firearms were purchased legally, but authorities did not comment on who they belong to. Now, the shooting in Southern California is the deadliest mass shooting since the attack at Sandy Hook Elementary School that killed 26 children and adults in Connecticut 3 years ago. And Anita, you have more on the president's reaction as he weighs in on this tragedy.
That's right, Rico. He just had a similar statement last week, shortly after President Obama heard about yet another mass shooting. He said, we need to make changes now. They include gun safety laws and stronger background checks.
And, for those who are concerned about terrorism, some may be aware of the fact that we have a no-fly list where people can't get on planes, but those same people who we don't allow to fly could go into a store right now in the United States and buy a firearm, and there's nothing that we can do to stop them. That's a law that needs to be changed.
We'll continue to follow this story all morning with live updates every half hour. But for more coverage right now, head to wavy.com.